people has also seen some changes and there are some thinkings we can have. So today I would like to open up this conference by talking about how to empower the agriculture. And then our CEO, technical CEO, Peng Bing will give us some insights and some understanding about the technology. So this year, 2020, we have captured many pictures while we are serving the farmers. But the year 2020 is a very special year. Many people think that this is a very different year, very miracle year. At the very beginning, we have seen the big forest fire in Australia caused by the climate change. And then we have the COVID-19. In 2020, we lost many lives and we have witnessed many milestones in the history. The COVID-19 presidential election and the spread of the pandemic over the world bring us many challenges and many food for thought. But in a few days ago, I review the 2020 we have had. Actually, for those who are doing the business, who are doing some practical things, in the year 2020 is nothing different from the past years. In Spring Festival, I still remember that I watched the TV in the Spring Festival, but on the mobile phone, we also heard many voices from Wuhan about the pandemic. And then we start to resume the work. And then we actually come back to the work post the second day after the festival, because we predict that the whole city may be locked down, so we came back to Guangzhou as soon as possible. Actually, we haven't thought that our unmanned vehicles become a very important tool in the society in disinfection. Actually, our unmanned vehicles have a very fine droplets and very good atomization. So that is why many communities decide to use our tool. Our unmanned vehicles are at the service of the government, and also we provide the post maintenance after sales for the community. We launched 5 million RMB for the disinfection. This is a very successful activity. This brings the motivation, brings the confidence to the community, and we see how unmanned technology change our life. This year, more than 2,000 unmanned aircraft and more than 20 partners, partners from more than 20 provinces joined our activity. So, what is the concept? What is the real meaning behind this concept? It means that more than 20,000 communities are using our unmanned vehicles and unmanned aircraft, and more than 17 countries are also using our XAG equipment in the core area of Italy, Lombardy, Manchester, Seoul, and many cities in Vietnam have seen the presence of our unmanned vehicles. Last month, our first batch of unmanned vehicle came to the UK, and together with the Manchester Police Force, unmanned vehicle helped them with the disinfection efforts. It doesn't mean that unmanned vehicle can disinfect everything, but it gives us a very good confidence that during the outbreak of the COVID-19, we have enough technology and techniques to combat it. And when it comes to March and April, we have two things coming to our agenda. The first one is COVID-19 containment efforts. The second is spring plowing. Spring plowing becomes a very important movement, and in the first 28 days of the spring plowing, our unmanned vehicles becomes a very important force during these efforts. More than 20,000 vehicles now get involved with spring plowing, serving 50 million moves of the fields. So in 2020, we become busier than ever before. We're the first batch of the enterprises resuming our works, and our equipment directly joined in the disinfection. Even the Samyang Hospital used our vehicles to transport the disinfection equipments and transport the patients. In June and July, when it comes to the busy season of farming, our new products is launched. So in last December, we promised everyone that our autopiloting and our unmanned ground vehicle will be launched to the market. And last year, we have a small test, and then our ground vehicles appeared in all kinds of orchards, buildings, and also many of our partners use our unmanned vehicles to transport the materials. In June and July, our autopiloting machine is launched to the market. We hope that we can transform the traditional farming mechanicals, farming machineries, and reduce the barriers. So that is why we have the farming machinery autopiloting. So in July and August, we make the mass production of our unmanned vehicles. And over the last few years, we have seen many high-level universities and enterprises publishing their unmanned vehicles. And the only one came to the mass production is ours. In 26 September 2013, we went to Xinjiang for a field trip, and we saw the changes of the cotton industry, and we realized that we need to be a part of the reform of the cotton reform, the cotton system. So we use the machineries to serve the cotton industry. And this is the 6th year we continue our service. And in this year, our defoliation plant protection operation covers 70% of the cotton field in Xinjiang. And in November, we launched the new round of financing. And we are very delighted to have Guangzhou New Emerging Industry Fund and Baidu and the SoftBank Innovation Workshop to join us to promote the work efficiency of agriculture. So I hope that all of us can share this exciting moment with us. And in the last few years, we have been awarded. XAG has always been the award winner. Actually, some of our awards are not seek by ourselves, and I would like to list some of the awards. Last year, when we finished the launching ceremony, I flew to UK, and this award is like an Oscar of in this industry. You never know who will win. So in that venue, more than 40 tables of people were sitting there, and most of them are from the top 500 Fortune companies like Taos, DuPont, and BASF, and also many farming machinery giants. And me and the international director are sitting there. We didn't know who would win. However, my name was called, so I was so excited. I went up to the stage to receive this award. However, when I was standing on the stage, I was thinking that why we could win this award, why this award was not given to some old companies. By then, I didn't really think through. However, now I just realized that probably we are doing something unseen by the other people. Probably we are doing something never thought about by the other people in the world. And this year, we won another award from Reuters, that is the Global Commercial Responsibility Award. And together with us, Coca-Cola and Google also received this award. However, what we have done are still very small. Today, you have seen many distributors, brands, and excellent users brands around the hall. So I think that we, not only us, winning this award, it is also your award. Several days ago in Chongqing, we also being enlisted as the top 10 application case together with Alibaba and Huawei. Within 3 days, we are also enlisted as the top 10 application case by the UN Agricultural and the Farmer Organization. So this is an enlightenment I would like to share with you. And also in 2020, there are two fun things. The first thing is that in November last year, as a tech company, we joined the Agritechnica show in Hanover. And this is very large, this is the largest agricultural machinery show in the world. And our booth was very, very small. And when we just got there, we were stunned because every showroom by then over there are much, much larger than this room. And our booth is very, very small. It's like a stand who give out the flies. So it touched me again. As a tech company, how can we compete with these giants in the industry, keep abreast with them? Though we are still a very small booth, but actually we're still keeping abreast with them. So this is the second time I rethink about ourselves. And in 25th November last year, we had a very special launch with Airbus. And this, what is the launch about? We're dedicated to develop a logistics system for the future city and the future villages. This is a very foresighting, this is a very foreseeing um, and a very sci-fi vision because we need to establish a logistics network between the cities and the villages through the vehicles, unmanned vehicles. So what I want to say, this is a long-term project, but there is one thing I found from this project. So this person is Daniel, who is the CEO of Airbus, who was the vice president of Amazon, responsible for the unmanned vehicle logistics project in Amazon. And Amazon had a very interesting thinking called called the terminal thinking. So the terminal thinking means that after the agreement, we are not we are not developing the technology, nor we are thinking about our strategy. We are sitting down to look at one thing, to write the news release. So we decide that we sit together to discuss about what words we want to say uh, in in a few years, in a launch ceremony after a few years. So we call it a terminal mindset. So we are not only diving into an industry and doing all the works, but we need to think about our vision, what the industry will be like in the future. So this thing really touches us. This is exactly our vision in 2013 when we see the cotton field will be replaced by the technology. And this is in 2017 in a in a festival. And on this picture, there are XAG, but by then we know nothing. We only knew how to build the unmanned vehicles. So we just imagine that in future there will be a field, we call it unmanned field, and on the ground, on the air, we all have the unmanned vehicles to operate for us, and there will be a person standing beside the field to operate everything. So by cooperating with the big companies, we are not really copying them, we are learning from them. So these are two interesting things I would like to share with you. And also we are convinced that China will become a center for the smart agriculture in the world. It's not that because we are opening the XAAC today, so we're saying that China will become the epicenter. But the truth is that over the last few years, we have been in more than 20 countries, and we didn't think that any country has the same capacities as China did. So we can start from the onion crisis in India. Last November, I saw a news report about the onion crisis. So India, again, had a onion crisis again. Usually they run once a 4 year. So the onion crisis is that India is the largest consumer and the largest exporter of onion in the world, and the onion is the key ingredient of all their diets. However, last year the price of onion rose from 1 rupee 1 kilometer a kilogram to 30 rupees.
So last year, the Prime Minister of India said all the onions should stay in India. At that time, I thought that's really interesting. I mean, this kind of important food in any country should be controlled. Any country would not allow fluctuations in this kind of staple. So if a politician in India cannot control the onion, he or she won't be successful in India. So in India, there was this severe onion crisis. There could be three reasons. First, the country had a very poor agricultural infrastructure, and because of its tropical climate, 60 or 70% of irrigation comes from natural precipitation. That means a 10% fluctuation in rainfall could mean a disaster. Second, the country does not have a large scale of production, and there is no industrialization for the onion. And they do not have very large agro machinery. And the other day, I went to see a company. The company produces plastics. It's very huge. I thought they produced pipelines, but later I found it's not only about pipelines. They also produced field membranes. Membranes are really in huge demand. So a lot of products in India are imported. The agricultural supplies are imported. And the third reason is about logistics. I traced one onion to see how it goes from the origin to the end. The origin could be the field and the destination could be the table. And in this whole process, transportation, logistics could be quite messy in India. So here we can draw a conclusion. To develop agriculture, there must be huge demand from consumers. Consumers really matter to the whole process. Industrialization matters for agriculture. Just now I talked about that company producing pipelines and field membranes, but that's not enough. There must be large-scale industrialization for agricultural supplies. In India, they do not have that kind of capabilities. In the past 20 years, China has been growing rapidly under the WTO framework. SciTech is changing the globe. If you go to the US or Europe and talk about changing the world through SciTech, they may say, well, it's okay, we have seen too much of it. But in China, we have our solid foundation for developing better SciTech. Now we are talking about intelligent agriculture, and we have our advantages here. You know that in China, we have WeChat Moments, and we also have a lot of other social media platforms. And now we have entered our 5G era. China is very strong in terms of industrial capabilities. We can produce pretty much anything we need. Yes, we have been talking about transferring industrial capacity, but that's only part of the story. We still have a lot of capabilities for producing heavy machinery, alloys, and all the other stuff. About logistics, we have a lot of people flowing into the cities. Those people have their jobs in the cities. For example, they take a job in the delivery, in the food delivery industry, and they can also get other jobs. But they are also consumers. China has been engaged in supply side reform for many years. On the supply side, we got a shift from industry to services. And that's also part of the reason behind China's economic slowdown over the past few years. We have seen so many countries and their stories. We have also summarized the Chinese story. In our transformation of agriculture, there are also some issues. In the field, there are many bugs. And in the whole landscape, we also have some bugs, issues. In industry, it's so easy to increase efficiency. For example, SAP from the US, they could provide a software system that improve the efficiency at factories by 30%. And for automation, they also have the US also has very strong solutions. AI has entered the factory, and AI could promise high efficiency gains, and AI could also benefit agriculture. But in agriculture, this kind of thing has been happening too slowly. Go to our factory and you can see they have monthly or even weekly upgrades to their systems. In agriculture, we gotta move faster. We have all the fancy stuff and fancy tech for agriculture, but transformation in agriculture has been too slow because in agriculture, there is no Moore's law. In cities, we have mobile apps and we have mobile networks. Life has become much better. Industry has benefited a lot from all those things. But in agriculture and in services, we still depend too heavily on human beings. So people could be the biggest bug or the biggest issue. In agriculture, we rely too much on human beings. Yes, we can produce very good agro machinery, and we can have very large machines for the field. But efficiency could be restricted by the size of the machine, and you must find the right operators for those machines. If we want to increase efficiency quickly in agriculture, as quickly as in industry, we must ensure we can develop very effective and very efficient unmanned systems for agriculture. This kind of unmanned does not mean we will eliminate people in agriculture. People can work together with technologies. For example, for a certain machine, we can change a certain chip, and this kind of change or replacement can go on and on for upgrades in agro machinery. So maybe you are worried that people will be squeezed out of agriculture, but that's not the case. We have another logic. In developing this kind of machinery for agriculture and in the process of developing intelligent agriculture, the whole value added in agriculture can be increased, and this would create a better life for farmers. So it's not about replacing people with machines. It's about providing better technologies, better machines, and better services for farmers. At XAG, we have been working really hard to make that happen. Just now, I talk about agriculture developing slowly. That means a very low level of competitiveness. So fresh graduates do not choose agriculture for their careers. Many people would talk about game development, esports. Many people would want to open their own restaurants. Very few graduates would like to enter agriculture and become farmers. Actually, we want to create a new landscape to connect all the farmers and consumers. And we want to create this new landscape where agricultural products can sell better at higher. We want to create very good brands in agriculture. We want to ensure values in agriculture can be distributed more evenly. But now farmers do not have technologies. And when we give farmers some apps and some systems, they must be able to use them. So we have been developing digital technologies for agriculture, for farmers. With this kind of digitization, agriculture could benefit a lot. And we can also rely on the blockchain and the IoT to optimize the whole agricultural process. So in this case, the whole value chain for agriculture could be changed. And a lot of brands won't have very strong capabilities of getting premiums. So by then, farmers would be in a better position to engage in agriculture. There will be fewer people leaving the countryside to become delivery men in cities. We want to ensure that value can be reallocated along the agricultural value chain. That's what we have been doing. We believe that the future of agriculture should be unmanned. To make agriculture unmanned, there is a long process. In the past few years, we have seen an increasing focus on this aspect. The past year was really important for poverty alleviation here in China, and we have seen a lot of opportunities. In our eyes, the trend of going unmanned is not a trend. It's a must-go road forward. We want to ensure that going on this road, we can create a better future for agriculture. Thank you. Now let me give the floor back to Peng Bin, CEO of XAG. Mr. Peng will talk about our new technologies and new products developed over the past year. Please. Dear friends, either from China or elsewhere, my name is Peng Bin. I'm the founder and CEO of XAG. Now let me spend about 2 hours talking about our new products. Now let me get started. This year marks the 14th anniversary of my business. We have gone a long way. Since the end of 2018, we have positioned ourselves as an agri-tech firm. We have adjusted our mission and vision, as you can see from this page. Those are our mission and vision. Agriculture has been around for thousands of years, and we want to make our contributions to agriculture. We want to use tech to change agriculture. We want to make agriculture more efficient, and we want to make agriculture more sustainable. That's about a whole ecosystem. I have talked about this many times. We have three aspects to our mission and vision. Pretty much all customers are engaged in one of those aspects, as you can see from this page. First, we are building digital infrastructure for agriculture. Back in 2018, we introduced fully autonomous drones to agriculture, and we also started building our cloud platform. And our system could work with the Beidou navigation system of China. In the cities, there are driverless cars. On the road, there could be a lot of signs and markings. So driverless cars can benefit from all those. But in the field, there is no markings. There is no clear boundaries. Things could be trickier in the field. Going forward, I hope our digital infrastructure for agriculture can really make a big difference. Plus,
And we all know that XAG is transforming from the unmanned vehicles to the agri-tech industry. So we do not only have the unmanned vehicles for agriculture, we also have all kinds of unmanned equipments. So the second thing is to develop more intelligent hardware. So there are three types of the products. The first one is unmanned ground vehicle, unmanned aircraft, and autopiloting. And the last thing is that more than 4 million Chinese moose fields has been included in our XAG operation system, which is we call XAG SaaS. So this is just launched at the end of the last year, and we use these three different business divisions to change and upgrade the production activity, to upgrade the production efficiency. So let's take a look at what we have done over the last year. Some of our clients are saying that we want to make an unmanned ground vehicle because that we are like boys and we like to play the models, like to play the cars. But that is not true. We regard unmanned ground vehicle as the platform for the robotics. So this is only a prototype, and also this is products we are the first products in the mass production. It is more like a mobile platform. It can spray the chemicals, transport the materials, and turn the chassis to adapt to different terrains. However, today we have a new function added on that is called the Revo Spray, which means that this sprayer could be installed on the platform and it could be turn the vehicle as a sprayer. So this is like a new format for the farming machinery. So here is a new function of our unmanned ground vehicle. We believe that in the future, there will be hundreds of the application scenarios for the unmanned ground vehicles, from the mobile platform to the execution devices. With different execution devices, the unmanned vehicle may have different functions. So Revo Cast, the system, is a new equipment. It can have 220 liters of capacity. It can load many composite fertilizer, or it can load many different seeds. The spread width is around 8 meters, and this is a new energy driven vehicle, so it can be done autonomously. So you have seen a field which belonged to us in Guangzhou in this video. And on this field, we planted some cotton. The reason we plant the cotton over there is that we want to do some cotton test. However, the cotton field is not suitable right now in the severe cold in Xinjiang. So we have another test plot in Guangzhou. Actually, during this plantation process, many operations are done by our unmanned ground vehicles. However, spraying, transporting are not enough, so we need the mowing as well. We use this word, Revo mower. When R150 unmanned ground vehicle is equipped with the mower machine, Revo mower, then it becomes the unmanned mower. The performance are doing like this on the screen, and as you can see, compared to the fertilizing and broadcasting, the efficiency is relatively lower because during the mowing, the speed is slow and energy consumption is higher. But when equipped with 2 batteries, it could endure for 1 hour. And the mowing speed is 0.5 meters. I love the ideas of engineers. They turn a traditional mower to a smart mower. And I believe that this unmanned ground vehicle in the future will bring more multifunctions to us. This will be a little helper of our field. Do you know how many agri-machineries in Chinese fields? According to the official data, more than 20 million agri-machineries are now applied in the different scenarios. And our R-series unmanned ground vehicle are steadily replacing these functions. So we also have 2 prices for that. I think that you are not very satisfied with the price. However, believe us, by improving our mass production will reduce the cost and we can let more people to use the products and share the benefits together. However, this is the first generation, so the price is relatively higher. So now let's take a look at our second product, which has already been very popular in some areas. It is called autopiloting. So it turned the tractor, conventional tractor, to a semi-autonomous or full autonomous tractor. However, the equipment of this equipment is not like fully autonomous driving products like Tesla. It is more like an ancillary driving product because we do not have a law to support us to do the autonomous driving, especially the full autonomous driving. However, I believe that working with departments, authority, and enterprises together, the industry in future would have a full autonomous driving machine, a vehicle. So one person can just sit on this machine without doing anything. The driver only monitor the driving of this machine. In this video, you can see the tractor and the broadcaster and the mower being transformed by ourselves. It could have a more direct and straightforward motion lines. and we can make the driving easier. So to summarize this autonomous driving vehicle, we could we could actually summarize several advantages of this vehicle. The first one is to increase the utilization rate of land. As you can see that by using the manual powered mower or use a manual machine, then it will be very difficult to have a straight lines. However, if we use the autonomous driving vehicle, we can make all the lines straight. So according to the official statistics, by using the vehicle and making the straight lines, we can improve 5% of the land utilization. So for a populous country, it will be very important for us. Second, plant standardization. As we know that 30 million Chinese mules of the cotton planted in Xinjiang are planted in Xinjiang. So up to now, 20 million mules of the cotton are being collected by the machines. Um, so, however, if we use the manual driving vehicle to collect the cotton, it will be very difficult to keep the machine in a straight line. So that is why we use a machine navigated by Beidou system to navigate the autonomous driving. And the last one is operator. Not all operators have very high level skills to drive the tractor or drive the vehicles. Usually, the operators need years to accumulate their experience. So for the new operator, their skills are not sufficient enough. For the old operator, they are easy to get tired because they are getting old. So when equipped with such an navigation system and autonomous driving system, we can make the operation for them. Therefore, last year we released the price for this product. Actually, when we just came into this industry, all the industrial equipment needs to be subsidized by the government because in the past, the average price for the autonomous driving machine is around 60,000 RMB. Just imagine that how much UAV does it cost right now? How much unmanned vehicles does it cost today with 4 motors, low latency, and one charger? This year, 2020, we only sold it at 45,000 RMB. The reason why this kind of machine would be sold at the 60,000 RMB is that they cannot optimize the supply chain. However, we can effectively optimize our supply chain, and so our price could be lowered. And also, we enjoyed very good profits for both of our distributor and ourselves. And however, after a year of sales, we discovered that we can still lower the price. So we want the enterprise, we want everyone enjoy the benefits brought by technology. Can you imagine how much does it cost? Exactly. 14,999. Do not be panic. For the distributors, do not panic. We will also synchronize this price for you. But there is a strange rule in the industry. The products must be equipped with a standardized screen. Why is that? It's just like 15 years ago, our vehicles must be equipped with a navigation system made by Careed. But still, do you use the Careed navigation? Not anymore. Nowadays, you use the other app on the mobile for the navigation, right? So this is true for the farmer machinery as well. The farmer machinery do not need a screen on the machine anymore. We can reduce the cost by replacing the replacing the screen. So we believe that we can use the mobile phone to replace the navigation system, and that is why we would give out one Huawei cell phone for all the buyers. We hope that our operator can increase their efficiency by using the navigation system on the mobile phone. And also, we want to be a unique player in this industry who doesn't need the subsidy from the government. We want these products be commercialized in the market rather than be subsidized by the government. And I believe that most of our distributors here have a very strong interest in our products, and you have a confidence to promote these products to the market. Because in China, there are
Now in the market, the total sale volume of medium-sized and large-sized tractors is only around 10,000 units. So there could be multiple reasons behind this. For example, price, performance, installation difficulty, so on and so forth. So the market is huge. We entered agriculture back in 2013. I had two partners, Justin and Alice. At that time, we flew from Guangzhou to Xinjiang to meet Mr. Zheng Tao. He's now our VP. At that time, we saw the cotton field in Xinjiang. It's at the end of September. It's fantastic. But we could also smell a very strong odor. That's from the defoliator used on cotton. We think our systems, including our drones, should be of good help to agriculture. So that's back in 2013. 7 years on, we are now making a bigger difference. We have sold a lot of smart systems, more than 66,000 sets. And at the end of 2018, the whole area handled by XAG drones accounted for 1/3 of the total area of cotton fields in Xinjiang. So that percentage, that proportion is now 1/2. That means if you buy 2 cotton garments from Xinjiang, one of them has cotton handled or produced with the help of XAG. A lot of cotton in China comes from Xinjiang, so our technologies have changed the whole landscape of cotton production in Xinjiang. And in China, we have a large area of using drones in the field. And drones have been a huge driving force for a lot of fields. This year, the pandemic has been very severe, but our economic recovery has been sound. Our comprehensive growth has topped 2.5 times, and our sales revenue has also been stellar. And we have attracted new investors. I want to thank all the investors for their recognition. Their support means that they think we have very strong market competitiveness. They think our products are innovative enough, and they think our mission and vision for the future are really promising. Back in 2016, the first fully autonomous drone started operating in the field. And now let's look at all the changes from between then and now. Again, back in 2016, our first fully autonomous drone started operating in the field. By November 30th, we have collected all the numbers. Actually, what we have done is quite simple. Using technology to work out good products. Our heroes are our distributors and customers. Over these years, they have covered 780 million mu in operation with our products. Our products have a presence in all parts of the country, including Tibet. The market has been changing. Our products have been going through iterations. Each iteration or each upgrade is actually a summary based on the previous generation. So here we are launching P40 2021. Last year, the name for this series was XP20 and XP 2020. And now we have changed that to P40. Actually, XP 2020 was our internal code for P40. So you can regard P40 2021 the same as XP 2020. But there is also some changes. Let's look at the design. After the launch of XP 2020, many customers complained. They said, could we fit XP 2020 into our vans or cars? For example, rolling cars. Because the size was too large, it's very hard to fit XP 2020 into such cars. Now we have made the product smaller. Both the length and the width have been reduced by 10 centimeters. That means you can put it very easily into a Wuling Hongguang car. And also, we have a lot of customers, a lot of distributors from different backgrounds. Many of them don't understand RTK antennas, and sometimes they could make mistakes installing antennas. So that's very bad. We don't think this kind of mistake is necessary because our products are smart. So we have relocated the antenna to the main body. So during maintenance and repair, there's no need to check the antenna. This kind of small change is part of the latest iteration. Anyway, all the good features have been kept, including the modular design. Please look at the tank. The tank nozzle. Last year, the tank was quite long, and it could touch the battery, and that can lead to accidents. And this product has IP67 protection level and can be washed with water directly, so on and so forth. Apart from design and structure, let me talk about how intelligent it is. That's very important. For that, let's watch this video. The flight control system is the core for a drone. In structure, innovations could be limited, but for flight control, there is huge room for optimizations. So this new product is configured with Super X flight control system. For one thing, this new flight control system combines multiple modules. The whole drone has only a single electric control module instead of multiple modules. And in this flight control system, we have a high performance processor. The frequency is 1 Hertz, and it can process a lot of data. It's capable of AI recognition and all kinds of flight paths, including 3D paths. And actually, for the unmanned ground vehicle, we also have a similar control system, but that's called the tractor control system instead of the flight control system. And we could also process 3D data in real time. Just now, I said in structure, we have pretty much exhausted innovations. But for electronics, we have much room for further optimizations. So since this new product, we will have 3 radars. First, a radar for the ground, and second, we'll have a front view radar, and third, we'll have an upward view radar. Why this upward view is important? Because when a drone flies, there could be a lot of power lines above the drone. So 3 radars. The front view radar is a millimeter wave radar. It can send millimeter waves all the time so that all the obstacles can be outlined. And with our new flight control system, this radar can achieve vector-based obstacle avoidance. This radar can see as far as 40 meters. You can recognize most obstacles, especially power lines. The upward view radar can also see power lines. And for the bottom radar, we could also have a very strong capability of seeing the ground. As I mentioned, that's for the ground, also called the ground radar. At a height of 30 meters, the radar could see a long distance. So actually, it could see 60 or 70 meters. That means the drone can operate better above forests or orchards. And for P40 2021 agricultural drone, those 3 radars will be part of the standard configuration. Here we have a concept called the pilot imaging view angle. Our drones fly automatically, so there is no first-person angle view, but actually we can install a camera at the front, so all the images from this camera can be streamed back to your cell phone, and you can have a first-person view of what's in front of the drone. In the future, I'm sure the product can become even smarter. It can even tell you what plants are being handled Of course, when you use the drone, you must know what plants you are dealing with. But if you have a really large area, like 5,000 mu, you may forget what you are dealing with. So the drone can tell you what plants it's working on. The camera actually takes videos, not just images. And the videos can be transferred back to your cell phone. There is a small button, and that button can be pushed to get a real-time flight. To get real-time flight videos.
All right. So we have already completed the smart thing about the XAG, and we believe that this year will be a brand new start for the XAG vehicles, unmanned vehicles, and this will also be a new start for the whole industry. Now let's come to the capabilities. We have already said that the total size of the unmanned vehicle shrink to 10 centimeters, so it could be easily put in the minivan. However, what about the motor system? The motor system is not reduced at all. It's still the same as always. We have 20 kilograms of effective load, and we shift the motor for the driver of the motor to the other places for the better heat dissipation. Also, we adjust the battery a little bit, so it means that we can suspend on the air for 16 minutes, and we can have the continuous operation for 10 minutes. And this year, we also adjust the spraying system. This is called the Revo Spray. The red part is what will be equipped on the unmanned vehicle. In 2014, we use the optimizer and peristaltic pump on the Revo Spray. And this could help us to have effective and precise spraying. We are always serving the needs of our customers. And this year, based on our good precision, we again effectively improve the capabilities of our spraying. There are two brushless centrifugal sprayer, which has a more power density than the previous version, around 6 times higher. So as you know, the optimization capability are very strong. The droplets could be adjusted between 60 micron to 400 micron. Also, there are two peristaltic pump, which can supply 10 liters of flow for each minute. So this is the largest value in the industry right now. So what is the notion behind it? Which means that one chemical tank could be sprayed out within 2 minutes. So one battery can support 3 liquid container. And actually, this is a dream of most of our users. If the flow is strong enough, then and if the atomization is perfect enough, then we have a very good effectiveness. So let's take a look at the big screen.
其实按照目前的法律
According to the law and regulation, the standardized atom should be the 15 particles per centimeters, cubic centimeters. And within the 6-meter spread, the average droplets are around 30 particles. So, which means that our effective spread width is around 6 meters. And under the 6 meters spread width, we can work, the operation efficiency is 220 Chinese mu per hour. And also, we have some other, this is a very theoretical value. And we hope that XAG could make the
We must ensure we have the best results and the best efficiency. I mean, amortization should be adjusted. Now we have this kind of centrifugal nozzle. We can use software to make adjustments. We have a video here for you to watch. Take a look.
From this method, we can evaluate our atomization effect. The atomization droplets could be adjusted from 60 micron to 400 micron. And if we want to optimize the effectiveness, we should adjust the droplets diameter. For example, for the 80 less than when it comes to less than 80 microns, it will be very good for the flies and the mosquito. For the mite and the alley rodents, it would be better to adjust it to 100 micron. And for the forest pests and the other weeds, we can adjust it to 400 microns. So our Revo Spray system could adjust the diameter of the droplets effectively. So this year, unmanned unmanned vehicle is not only for the spraying, it also for broadcasting. And this year, our broadcasting system has a very good precision. However, the effectiveness is less than our expectation. So this year, we increased the wave filter system on the RevoCast. And this year we have a larger feeder, and we have 2 centrifugal broadcaster and 25 liters feeder, 8 to 10 meters for the spread width. So the efficiency is 2 times of our last generation, and the 1.6 tons of granules could be broadcasted per hour. And for fertilizer, 2.4 tons of the granules could be spread out within 1 hour. So this is a great improvement on our efficiency. So I have done the introduction of RevoCast and the Revo Spray. And I believe that our users might have known what I want to say next. The next is surveying. Exactly. The fully autonomous vehicle needs to do one thing before its operation. That is to circle out the boundaries of the field. Sometimes they may need to survey for once, or they need to survey it for twice. So once we circle the field out, we know what is the boundaries for the field, and then the UAV can autonomously can autonomously fly within the boundaries. In the earliest time, we provide a stick for surveying. This is a professional surveying stick. And we were teased by many counterparts, saying that their uh, unmanned vehicles has already completed the operation, but XAG operators are still surveying. However, no one teased us in this way anymore because in this day, everyone noticed the importance of surveying. We have done many things on the field of surveying to make it smart. Last year, we have a very small handheld surveyor. It is very small, very light, only hundreds of grams, and you just need to hold it to walk around the field. So every one of our customer are actually using this surveyor to survey the boundaries and the obstacles. However, we think that it is not the most most efficient one. So we have one more product. And this technology is much, much more difficult than our handheld surveyor. So this is our new product. In using this unmanned surveyor, you just need to fly over the sky and survey the boundaries, and then every data will be transported back to your cell phone. However, what's the problem of this product? You need to spend 20,000 to 30,000 for this uh, surveyor, and it takes a long time. Usually it takes 40 minutes or even 2 hours to survey a field. So this is a very good product, or say a very good technology, not a very good product. So over the last few years, uh, only 5% of our users use this unmanned vehicle for surveying. Most of our users are still use the handheld surveyor. And many of our users give us a feedback saying that is it possible that they don't need to walk around the field to survey uh, the, the plot? Therefore, we come up with a new solution called Real Terra. I don't know that why you applaud, but you don't know the true stuff of Real Terra. But I know what you expect. What is Real Terra? Real Terra is based on the P40. Actually, this is the auxiliary of P40. Usually, it was installed at the back of the UAV. Before the spraying or fertilizing, we first fly this UAV up to the 2,000 meters high, and then it would be landing automatically. So inside there is an integrated camera and also a image connecting processor. So within 10 minutes, it can complete the flying over 100 moves of land. So in the future, you don't need to go around the field for surveying. You don't need to buy an extra vehicle for the surveying. You can just enjoy the benefits brought by this technology. I can repeat it once again. So at the tail of the UAV, there is an installation. When we install it, before the spraying, you just fly it around the plot, and the vehicle would take pictures while it's flying, and then when it's landing, you have a map on your cell phone. Then you can start the operation right away. So you don't need to go down to the field for surveying anymore. And this equipment is standard module on the P40 UAV. which means that in the future, you don't need to go down to the field for surveying anymore. I had a photo sent by one Hubei user. All his clothes and all his garments were taken off to pack in a plastic bag. The reason he needs to take off his clothes is that he needs to go around the field, and in that particular operation field, he needs to go down to the paddy field and the water plot in order to get the surveying map. So after the surveying, his clothes are all get dirty, and in the North China,
So all these will be resolved. Now let's look at the achievements of Real Terra. You push a button, and you can get all the images stitched automatically. These are 3D images instead of 2D images. Think about this. Just now, I talked about our fourth generation flight control system, which can process 3D images. If you are dealing with all kinds of terrains, then you can benefit from all this. The drone will detect different heights in the field. There is some kind of preliminary judgment. The drone has the capability of knowing what's around in all the terrains. It's just like the drone knows where to go and where the home is. The drone knows the whole landscape instead of just relying on radar sensing. And you can connect all the parts of a whole terrain into a large map. That's not the whole story, because Real Terra is so powerful that we can use it to recognize obstacles and field boundaries. Of course, we use AI for this process, and obstacles can be marked automatically, and all this info can be sent to your cell phone. If that is like 0.1% obstacles missing, doesn't matter. You can manually add those obstacles to the map. The next time, the drone, Real Terra, will be smarter. So that's a game changer. So in the beginning, we had remotely controlled drones. Now we have really intelligent drones that can work independently to achieve uniform spraying and broadcasting. There could be very complex terrains, for example, terraced fields and different kinds of orchards. It doesn't matter. Real Terra can handle all those. Back in 2020, we launched a single handheld remote control. Smartphone users can use their can get connected very quickly. But in this era, we are talking about 5G. Connections are much quicker, much faster. So our app can become smarter. We do not need a professional device to get connected to the drone. A lot of customers put the professional device on the windshield to ensure effective connection. Sometimes the distance could be far and user experience could be very poor. Customer experience could be very poor. And now we have our XAG Agro Service app. This app can work like any app. You can connect this app to 4G or 5G networks, and distance won't be an issue. There's no need for a professional device. Think about the Xiaomi ecosystem. All the connections and operations are very smart and easy. So XAG now can do something similar. 5G promises so much. And with this app, we can get all the images and data. In the second step, it's about quick surveying. Meanwhile, plot management can be handled simultaneously, and we can control multiple drones from the same smartphone. Also, there can be operation reports generated automatically. In this kind of report, you have all the necessary information about the operation. Just now, I talked about the first person or the pilot view angle, and images from that angle can also be obtained and sent to the app. So we have images, we have videos, and we have the flight routes, all in this app. And we have a version for iOS and another version for Android. I mean, in the countryside, most people use Android. There could be fewer iOS users, but this time we are here with two versions for both iOS and Android. So first, Realterra takes images. Second, the whole system. The second step is about setting the flight route and then determining the operation plots. After that, the operation occurs, and after that, we have reporting. With this app, we can achieve very effective human-machine interaction. Now let me talk about the electrical system. For the drone, a lot of cost goes to the electrical system. In the past, the spraying system had a very low flow, and we do not recommend about the electrical system. Sometimes the batteries are not robust enough, and the load on the drone could be very high over quite a few hours. And this time, we have upgraded the electrical system. The capacity of the battery has been increased from 18 ampere hours to 23 ampere hours. Look at our B123960S. It is a much larger battery. Actually, it's B139060S. That's a kind of smart supercharged battery. It can withstand stronger currents. The charging cycle takes only 11 minutes. You also want to have a battery that can be used for more years and come at a lower cost. We have been talking about 1,000 cycles for a drone battery within the warranty period. But with our B139060S, smart charge battery, what can we achieve? Unlimited cycles within a year. What does that mean? If there is anything wrong within 1 year, there should be a free replacement. So 1,000 cycles, what does that mean? That means that's equivalent to keep charging and discharging the battery for 18 days in a row without any stop. Most drones are used for less than 1,000 cycles per year. So we can have a very strong guarantee. Unlimited cycles within 1 year. This battery is a supercharged battery. With one charge, you can handle 3 tankfuls of liquid. Also, we have a brand new fuel operation station. Last year, we combined generator with the charger to launch GC4000. GC4000 is our supercharged station. But at that time, many customers complained about the size of the tank. Now, the tank for this product has been increased to 15 liters. Also, we have added a small display where you can see all the usage information. And also, we have improved the internal structure for GC4000. And the service life has also been improved from 200 hours to 1,000 hours. Our product managers have seen deformations on many generators. They said we should add 2 beams for generators because sometimes in the field, a generator can be used as a bench for farmers. I mean, farmers can have lunch in the field and they may sit on generator. Not all farmers do that, but we want to ensure the generator can be more durable. That's the journalist from engineers. That's our care for our customers. So I've talked about the upgrade to XP 2020 and also some other new changes to our product lineup. What else? Look at this page, P80. So P80 versus P40. The loading capacity has improved from 20 kilos to 40 kilos. P80 can carry 40 kilos, while P80 can carry 40 kilos, while P40 can only carry 20 kilos. But the size has not increased much. Maybe a little bit bigger. And this is the biggest agricultural drone that can be mass produced. Now let me talk about P80. It has a new architecture, a new design. It must withstand more loading capacity. A single person can carry 20 kilos in a liquid tank. Beyond that, you must have very strong muscles. Still bigger, the tank will be very hard to carry with 2 people. What about 40 kilos? 40 kilos could be very heavy. So P80 supports 40 liters of actually 40 kilos for the loading capacity, but the tank is not replaceable because anyway you cannot carry that much. Also, for the liquid tank, there are 2 nozzles. Why? Because the whole loading capacity.
And then for the power, we need a very strong power to support the load capacity. So as you can see, the power motor is very large with 42 kilograms for the driving force, and for 4 in total there are 160 kilograms of the pull. Because of the regulation, we cannot we are maximizing it within the regulation. And for the rotor, for the rotor wing, we have 47.6 inch of the rotor wing, and this is a very difficult techniques. Our counterparts could only strive for 38 inch, and that is what we did in 2018 and 2019. So compared with XP 2020, the size is like this, and the motor is like this. As a large capacity unmanned vehicle, the application scenario is not only about the fertilizer spreading, it's not only about the pesticide spreading, it is more for the fertilizing, because it has 40 kilograms of load capacity, so it can carry more granules for fertilizer, and it can fly for 30 minutes because it's being supported by 2 batteries. And because the liquid containers are not replaceable, and that is why we could we have a new architecture for this flying platform. We make the liquid container and granule container in one, and there are in total 16 screws. Once you pick up 8 screws, you can pick up the whole liquid container. So this is a brand new design. And let's take a look at the operation effects of this new spraying system. It's like a tank, right? See the optimization. See the wind field. The wind field is very strong. All right, so we add up the 35-liter liquid container on the aircraft, and someone asked us, why don't we just put 40-inch on there? The reason is that it's so big, we cannot lift it, so we tested on the 35 liters, and the wind field is very strong, so we suggest you fly it around 6 meters. Do not fly it from 2 meter to 3 meter, or else you may collapse all the rice paddy. And the spread width is 10 meters. So when it fly over the rice paddy field, it's like a giant helicopter. And for per hour, the comprehensive efficiency is 315 Chinese mu. So spraying is one of the functions, and this is of course a very good unmanned vehicle for spraying. But most importantly, it is for fertilizer spraying and broadcasting, because during the fertilization and broadcasting, we do not need to worry about that it will harm the other crops. So there won't be any complicated scenario as well. So we have a very large loading capacity around here. And for the complex fertilizer, you can load 40 kilogram. The spread width is 10 meters long, 10 meters width, and we use 2 centrifugal broadcaster to broadcast all the seeds and the fertilizer. All right, so after so many years of effort in P-series unmanned vehicle, we have a summary. Let's take a look at our big screen to see that how we transform ourselves from a 6 kilogram unmanned vehicle to 40 kilogram unmanned vehicle. Only within 5 years, we have seen the tremendous changes in the technology and the market. So let's take a look at the final products.
通过精准作业实现无人化农田管理，这就是全新极飞 P 系列农业无人机，全知全能，大显身手。
注意看水道。
极飞最新研制的 Super X4 智能控制系统 ，P 系列农业无人机具备超强大脑，领先的双引擎 RTK 高精度定位，自动航线规划能力，搭配全新极飞锐图、锐喷和锐波系统。 轻松实现全自主农田测绘、精准植保和智能播撒。全新极飞 P 系列农业无人机，分为 P80 和 P40两款机型，满足不同作业场景需求。P80拥有惊人的40公斤载重能力，全新横梁对称式机身结构，双电池供电和强劲的动力系统，进一步提升作业效率，降低维护成本。 35升智能药箱，10米最大喷幅，喷洒效率超过每小时300亩。换装锐波套件后，总料箱容量提升至60升，波幅10米，播撒效率超过每小时1.6吨，史无前例的超大载重，灵活多样的作业能力，让农田高效率自动化作业成为现实。P40结构更为紧凑，作业运输方便灵活。 搭载20升智能药箱，施药喷幅可达6米，最大作业效率超过每小时200亩。换装锐波套件后，总料箱容量增至25升，同样具备10米波幅。P 系列农业无人机配备多项雷达矩阵、地形雷达、上视雷达、前置动态雷达，更为细腻的避障能力，全面保障飞行安全。PSL 飞行员视角影像。 实时了解飞机工作状态与田间作物状况，复杂环境中也能精细作业。极飞锐图让农业无人机首次拥有快速测绘能力，能够全自主飞行拍摄、拼接和分析农田影像，生成农田高清地图和 AI 处方图，精确识别农田边界与作物生长趋势，测绘效率是传统人工的80倍以上。 锐喷，第4代智能离心雾化喷洒系统，最大流量提升至每分钟10升。全新高效离心雾化喷头，雾化颗粒在60微米至400微米间任意调节。智能药箱，实时检测剩余药量，进一步保证精准。锐波，突破离心播撒的物理极限，独有的螺旋送料机制与创新双波盘设计，高效。 均匀不生肿。锐喷与锐波全面支持极飞 AI 处方图作业，可通过精准变量控制，实现农药和化肥的减量减施，既保护环境，也能提升农产品安全性。全新智能超充电池，能量密度再提升10%，在水中急速充电只需11分钟。P 系列 依然具备整机 IP67级防护能力，模块级防水防尘，可直接水洗，也更耐农药腐蚀。全新升级的极飞农业 APP， 专为数字农业而生，轻松一点，手机直连，从农田测绘到植保作业，动动手指完成全部操作。作业数据云端存储，完成任务后还能一键分享作业报告，建立与农户信任的桥梁。极飞 P 系列农业无人机，开启农田无人化管理新时代。
5 years. When the product transformed from 6 kilograms to 40 kilograms of the low capacity, from the remote controlled to the autonomous driving, including the surveying, autonomous surveying. So now I would like to release you the price. P40 2021 includes 2 batteries, 1 cooler tank, and 1 fuel station, 1 handheld surveying machine, and 1 Revo real-terrain system. So make it together 41,888 for 1 year. And for P80, there are 2 models, one with the Revo cast, one without the Revo cast. Because P80 needs many batteries, so we equip with 4 groups of the batteries. All right, so now let me tell you something more about the full insurance. We introduced the Uas Insurance into this industry, and also this is another brand new year for our insurance packs. This year, we insure the P40 and the P80 respectively, but we also adjusted a little bit of the package. For the first year, the insurance is covered by our price. So say that if the UAV is 42,000, then our insurance premium is 42,000. Say if you purchase P80 56,000, then our insurance coverage is also 56,000. And also all the damaged equipment, including your damaged work hours, will be covered in our insurance. And for our old clients, existing clients, if you want to continue your insurance, for example, you still have like 20 to if you still have 10,000 to 20,000 remaining premium, then you can get 10% off. If your premium is over 20,000, then you can get 20% off. However, our extension insurance does not include some fragile components, because after a year of usage, there might be some damage on some fragile components and you need to update it, but we cover your work hours at the same time. If you have any question, you can approach our distributors for more detailed information. Thank you very much for your patience. It seems like you don't want this end. Do you still have some other expectation? Do you have some other ideas? We never let you steer, right? We never let you off. So let's take a look at this. Indeed. Up to today, P series has created many miracles, but we need to start from a new starting point. So P series is the best before these come to the market. But we always think that we need to strike the right balance. In the past, I think that effectiveness always comes before the efficiency. However, technology is evolving. We now want to both of them. We want the efficiency and we want.
We should work hard to make more innovations and come up with better products. So that's our idea behind our V series. You have seen our V series already. That's our new agricultural drone series. Going forward, we'll embark on a new journey.
V系列是基于极飞在农业无人机领域深厚积淀的全新想象。不同于传统多旋翼无人机 ，V 系列采用轻转双旋翼结构，让飞行器性能与能源使用效率实现全面飞跃。材料科学与制造工艺的突破，使 V 系列的重量和体积大幅降低，在飞行作业和转场运输时更加灵活高效。双旋翼风场更为集中，多重空气动力学优化，试药穿透力提升至传统植保无人机2倍以上。模块化设计可快速更换任务系统，在农田测绘、精准喷洒和智能播撒功能之间自由切换，满足各种作业需求。整机 IP67级防护，从容应对严酷作业环境的考验。日常维护更简单。机臂与螺旋桨双折叠，搬运体积减小至1/3，有效节省空间，降低使用成本。仿生学设计降低了噪音，也更接近鸟类的姿态，每一次飞行都很美。V 系列农业无人机搭载新一代极飞 Super X4 智能控制系统，将强大的人工智能算法、高性能动力总成与灵活的任务系统完美结合，轻松实现全自主农田测绘、精准喷洒和智能播撒作业，是数字化农业生产的最佳伙伴。高度集成化的 Super X4 智能控制系统，融合了飞行控制、环境感知、数据传输、RTK 高精度导航与5G 扩展功能，芯片算力的大幅提升，让 V 系列拥有最强大脑。地形雷达、前置动态雷达、上视雷达带来更为全面与细腻的感知与避障能力，让飞行更加安全。PSL 飞行员视角影像，让田间状况一目了然，也让复杂环境中的精细作业成为可能。V 系列全面支持极飞 AI 处方图技术，能根据作物生长状态进行差异化精准作业，大幅减少农药残留和环境污染。作为极飞 V 系列农业无人机的旗舰机型 ，V40 拥有强大的性能和惊人的效率，有效载荷20公斤，可以搭配极飞锐喷、锐波和锐图系统，实现智能化全自主农田管理作业。极飞锐图结合高分辨率光学影像与 AI 图像处理芯片，全自主飞行拍摄、农田边界识别、果树识别、地图拼接、3维建模、100亩地高清测绘，10分钟地图在手。极飞锐喷离心雾化喷洒技术再进一步， 污滴大小从60微米到400微米任意调节，最大流量提升至每分钟10升。配合 V40的双旋翼风场，有效喷幅可达10米。极飞锐波重新定义播撒，螺旋变量送料器，双离心宽幅拨盘，每分钟40公斤的效率，以及前所未有的均匀下过。全新智能锂聚合物电池，强大、聪明、更安全。IP65级防护，可在水中急速充电。未来农业已经展开，你准备好了吗？
Actually, the V series is my dream agricultural drone. Four rotors can be very efficient, but effectiveness could suffer. Half of the wind field could be lost, but the airflow is optimal. In the industry, many people see that if you want to use a drone for yourself, buy XAG. If you want to work for others, buy what? Buy a certain brand, you know it. In this era, innovations are a must. The dual rotor design can achieve a 100% wind field use efficiency. That's the highest ever. You can choose 6, 4, 8 rotors, but in all those cases, there could be a loss of the wind field. But with 2 rotors, we can make a lot of adjustments to aerodynamics. With V40, we can achieve a 10-meter spring width, and the amortization effect is very ideal. Also, V40 is foldable. That means very easy transportation. If you are a professional operator and you serve fields in the countryside, the V series is the best choice for you. Because on all parameters, the V series outperform its rivals, including some drones in the P series. Just now, I said it's foldable. When it's folded, it's 2/3 smaller when it's operating. That means you can put the drone very easily in your 50 Hongguang MPV. Also, it supports IP67 waterproof protection, and you can wash it with water. And the flight efficiency is very high, effectiveness is also very high, amortization is really perfect. And the spring width, as I mentioned, could be very large. Now let's watch a short video. The beauty of the drone is not only about the beauty of its flight, it's also about the amortization effects. Amortization could be one of the biggest selling points. And it can really help you get more customers. Please watch this video. So in this video, you can see the spring efficiency. The spring width is very large, but the efficiency, the spraying effect is still very good with a high level of uniformity, and the curve has two peaks. Uniformity is really very high. At 10 meters for the spraying width, efficiency is very high. It can cover 240 moves per hour. And like P40 and P80, it uses a centrifugal disc to spread out solid materials. And it can handle 2.4 tons per hour. It's also configured with the new flight control system, RTK, so on and so forth. Of course, it has very good radars. It inherits all the good things about the P series. And on top of all that, it's very efficient and lightweight. Now, let me get back to the title. In the past 5 years, the agricultural drone has been talked about as a precision tool for agriculture. But the agricultural drone has only achieved precision and uniformity if you can set some parameters beforehand. For example, you can set 500 milliliters for a move. You can also set 600 milliliters per move. But there is no dynamic adjustments to the flow through the nozzle. Now let's look at this page showing 4 pictures. The first picture is the early stage in the growth of cotton. You can see the growing part. In the second picture, you can see a lot of effects in cotton growth. For example, the drip irrigation system may be faulty. Maybe the field has something wrong. No matter the reason, the plants have been suffering. You can see there is a few horizontal marks here, and in the process of fertilization, the plants could be damaged. When the plants are very young, those marks are not very clear, but when they grow bigger, the marks could be very clear. In northeast China, this kind of thing occurs very frequently. And in that part of the country, fields could be huge. And in field management, mere uniformity does not work. In many parts of the country, terrains could be very complex. Therefore, uniform spraying is not the only matter we care about. And according to some statistics, 60% of all the pesticide and chemical fertilizer applied in the fields has been wasted. There could be multiple reasons. For example, rainfall, but there could also be other factors at play. With manual operation, that could be out of use. In the past, we care about uniformity in spraying. And with agricultural drones, we can achieve very good uniformity, but that's not enough. Mere uniformity does not work effectively. We want to ensure dynamic adjustments can be achieved. And in the growth of cotton, maybe 43.9% of our field is not covered by any plants. So in that case, uniformity does not mean anything. And in some other scenarios, maybe 11.4% of the whole area is not covered by plants. In the growth or planting of paddy rice, there could be 9.2% of the total area not covered by any rice. Just now, you saw northeast China, and in that part of the country, things could be better. But in many other parts of the country, there could be big issues. I mean, large slices of the land may not be covered by plants.
So it means that we may gain another 10%. So it means we can have 10,000 RMB more, and you can actually give the profit out to the farmers. So the farmers can give you can enjoy the better benefits, and you can also use this money to buy another better UAV to bring more income to you. So by using this technology, we can make the spreading more precisely. I always believe that the agricultural unmanned vehicle could reduce 30% of the pesticide spray within 3 years. So the first step is that we need to reduce 10% of the pesticide usage in some regions and on some unnecessary plot. However, by using the real terrain, we could survey all these plots, and all these data would tell the sprayer and tell our pump to adjust themselves. In the past, we need several pumps, several nozzles on the UAV so that we can spray. However, in this year, using our technology, we can bring the precise agriculture to the world. So here is our prescription map. The logic is very simple. That is, when the UAV is flying, the UAV could know that which are the places which does not need the pesticide. And the only operation you need to do is you open up our prescription map, and then you can just utilize our prescription map to save 10% of the pesticide. You don't need to do anything with extra efforts. All the machine, all the vehicle would adjust nozzles for you. Sorry, I just pushed the button too quickly. Once we have the real terrain system, our unmanned vehicle gets into a new era. However, because of the innovative structure, our unmanned vehicles need two less motor, need two less rotors. So the cost of this vehicle is very low, because as you know, that most of the cost of the UAV are from the structural components. However, we reduce the components, so the V40 has a breakthrough in the structure and bringing a lower cost to our people. So the price of V40 is 36,888, which include the full insurance for a year, 2 batteries, 1 handheld surveyor, and we worry that some of the users cannot adapt to the real terrain system, so we also give you 1 handheld surveyor, and you can go down to the field for surveying. And of course, this is a very good exercise for you. Also, we have a fuel supercharge station as well. Technology always drive the industrial revolution. A good technology would change the productivity, would change the production relations so as to bring the tremendous changes to the industry. And technology has always been the prerequisite of the changes in the industry. I have seen a book called The Cotton Empire, which tells a story about the British Empire plant the cotton in India and bring the cotton back to Europe. And because of the invention of steaming machine, textile industry greatly improved its efficiency, and then the first industrial revolution is unleashed. Agricultural sector is a very old industry. Before the appearance of UAV, not so many people have seen the new hope in this industry. However, over the last few years, many more young people joined XAG. They buy our products to serve the agriculture, to serve the village. As a pilot of XAG, it was a very popular job because there was not so many pilots in the village, not so many pilots in a county. So you can have a say in your price. However, when the products and the equipment becomes more and more affordable, the pilots, especially the professional pilots, are becoming less popular. And that is the truth today. On one hand, you have the clients, and the clients always argue the price for you. They always negotiate the price for you. So many pilots think that this is a hopeless business. However, we also see some pilots become the professionals for farmers. They do not only provide a flight service to the farmers. And I also believe that these part of people are the mainstay of the future village because these pilots are young, they know technology, they have the capabilities. So it is quite busy, quite pity for them to leave this industry only because of the fierce competition in the market. However, some of our pilots transform themselves from a pilot to a professional service provider. They are not only flying the aircraft, they also become a very professional experts for the farmers, and they gain a very good profit. Actually, we studied many these pilots, and we found that they become the mainstay of this industry. And we firmly believe that for the professional pilots, you must be a service provider rather than equipment provider. By using real terrain system, we have a stronger capability. Through the big data, through the algorithm, we can provide you some know-how about the field, like how the plant grow and how the pesticide should spray. So as a company with social responsibility, we hope that we can help pilots to transform themselves. Of course, we need cost to transform. However, we want to shoulder this cost. We want to take over this cost from you. We help you to turn from a pilot to a service provider. So let's take a look at this picture. If you purchase V series unmanned vehicle and to serve the farmers, then we will subsidize you for 5,000 yuan. So your cost of purchase will be dived down. Do you understand? Do you get it? Let me explain it again. If you just fly an aircraft for your own. It doesn't matter if you buy P series or V series. It doesn't matter. You can buy it anyway. But if you want to be a pilot, then I don't only suggest you to be a pilot. I hope you can be an experts with strong know-how. You can provide the farmers with the holistic solution. You can provide the pesticide. You can provide the spraying service as well. However, this is highly risky, so many pilots dare not to make this new step. So XAG will help you. We will subsidize you so that you can get yourself into a more professional sector. In future, there will be two types of users of XAG. One is to buy the products for their own, and the second is to buy the equipment to provide the professional service. If you want to serve the other farmers in the village, we can support you technically and financially. Of course, in the launching ceremony, it's very difficult to elaborate everything, but in future, we'll give you more detailed information. So all in all, once you use the V series for V series, we can subsidize you up to 5,000 RMB. And for these 5,000 RMB, you can buy all the correspondent materials as you like. The reason for doing so is simple. We hope that using the prescription math and the precise machinery, we hope that we can reduce 10% of the pesticide usage. We are very confident to reduce the pesticide usage. Reduce the pesticide usage within 2 to 3 years. And after 3 years, we hope that we can reduce the pesticide usage by 30%. All right, so let's come back to our mission. We grow because we are benefited from our users. Because of your support, we can grow to this scale. And we would like to thank our distributors as well. Our goal in 2018 is the same as the goal we have today. That is to increase the productivity and reduce the cost during production. Today, we have already elaborated to you that in future, we're going to reduce the cost for the pesticide and reduce the cost for fertilization. And you may have a strong feeling as well that in future, the cost for the pesticides will be lower down. So the efficiency and effectiveness will be increased. We hope that using technology, we can build up a whole ecosystem for the agriculture. We want to diversify our crops. We want to safeguard the safety of our food. And we hope that our mission and vision will be empowered by technology. This is the end of our new product launch. And one more spoiler for you, because we have so many products. So next April, we'll have one more launch. Compared to 2017, XAG grow dozens of times. Our R&D, our distributor numbers, our user numbers are much more than that we had in 2017. So next April, we'll have a conference about the smart field and unmanned agriculture. Again, I'd like to thank all of you to join the XAAC. Thank you very much.
The other day, Mr. Liu Bo, our director of smart agriculture, had dinner next door. At that time, there was a conversation between a few friends.
触发极大。在过去1年里面，我们每天像打了鸡血，因为实在有太多可以上手干的事情，可以去突破的技术，根本无暇去顾及商业模式的探讨，或者是其他各种方面的东西。今天咱们国家的技术创新在面临一个分水岭，有人在做商业模式的创新，在过去10几年里带来了中国互联网经济的繁荣，还有人在做很多硬核技术的研发。
Many firms have been developing hardcore technologies. And also, we are developing our AI prescription map. Thank all of you for being with us for so many years. You have witnessed our growth, and you have been the first batch of experts that have grown together with our intelligent agriculture. I hope to see you again next April. By then, you will learn about more hardcore technologies, more innovations, and more inspirations. Outside this hall, we have our latest products. You can go and take a look.